This is a satellite image of Beirut port in Lebanon, which was captured on July 31st, 2020. But only 4 days later, something like this is going to happen here, after which the port will be in this state. The hangars present at the port are in a state of devastation, while a 135-meter wide or 2.747-meter long pit is visible at this place. What actually happened here that gave birth to the world's largest non-nuclear explosion? Welcome to the Zoomer Videos. Viewers, a video clip goes viral on August 4, 2020, in which this bride, named Isra Sablani, was getting a photo shoot at the Sefi Square in Beirut. Then, suddenly, a powerful explosion forced everyone to run. Exactly 23 minutes before this incident, at 5:45 a.m., some welders were repairing a hole in the wall in a hangar at Beirut port. That's when the warehouse caught fire due to the sparks. This hangar was called Nobru 12, which was right next to the sea. After 10 minutes, at 5:55 a.m., a team of 9 firefighters and 1 paramedic arrives at the scene. After examining the fire, they told the fire chief on the radio that they don't feel well, because the fire is getting out of control and strange noises are coming out of it. It had only been 12 minutes since they reached there that a powerful explosion occurs at 6:07 a.m. If you look at the videos of this explosion, you can see flashes of fireworks with white smoke. A consignment of fireworks was placed in hangar Nobru 12, which was probably blown up by this fire. But this was the first explosion, whose intensity was recorded at 1,100 kilogram TNT blast. Now people understand what the sound was. After 30 seconds, another explosion occurred, which tore the whole of Beirut apart. This second explosion was recorded in many cameras, because after the first explosion, many people were busy making its footage. A very large ball of fire was seen floating in the sky, whose shockwave was faster than the speed of sound. In the second explosion, a white dome was seen, which surrounded a large part of the city. It was actually a water vapor, which was formed by the pressure of the shockwave. After this, a very large cloud of red smoke was seen floating in the sky. Experts say that red smoke is evidence of ammonium nitrate in the hangar. The intensity of the explosion was so high that people came out of their homes in Cyprus, 200 kilometers away. The shockwave broke the windows of Beirut Airport Terminal, 8 kilometers away, and came out through the houses nearby. You can only guess from this that the explosion took place in Beirut, but the U.S. Geological Survey team recorded 3.3 magnitude earthquakes. According to the scientists of Sheffield University, this explosion was equivalent to a 15 lakh kilogram TNT blast. That is, it was 1,000 times bigger than the first explosion, and 10% of the nuclear bomb dropped on Hiroshima. Where this blast happened, the hangars around it were all buried in the soil, as if there was nothing there. The ships standing nearby were also severely damaged, while a 5-star Orient Queen cruise ship, which was 390 feet long, jumped into the air, fell back into the water, and capsized. The explosion made a 135-meter wide pit in the ground, which was immediately filled with seawater. The Beirut explosion is considered the largest non-nuclear blast in the world. In fact, this explosion even disturbed the Earth's ionosphere. That is, the last atmospheric layer near space was also disturbed, causing disruption in GPS and radio signals for a few seconds. This scene was no less than a disaster in Beirut. The streets of the city were engulfed in devastation. Entire buildings in northern Beirut were buried in the ground. Trees withered from the roots, cars reversed, and steel gardens spread all over the place. The power of the explosion shut down the entire city's electricity supply, causing rescue work to become a further obstacle. Roads were cleared with the help of military bulldozers so that rescue workers could be reached. 218 people lost their lives in this incident, while more than 7,000 people were injured. And as for others, 12% of the population of Beirut became homeless in a blink of an eye. Hospitals and medical centers, where injuries had to be treated, were also destroyed by the blast. Many hospitals started treating injuries on parking lots and footpaths. St. George Hospital, which was a few hundred meters away from Beirut port, continued to treat patients on broken footpaths, even after being completely destroyed. But despite this, thousands of injured people had to be sent back for this reason, because there was also less space on the footpaths. It is believed that after the blast, the homeless people were given shelter in their homes in Beirut, whose homes were saved due to being quite far from the port. The fire continued to erupt for 7 hours after the blast, and the clouds of black smoke remained in the sky until the next day. The smell of sulfur and burnt rubber was felt in the air for the next few days. But a few days later, protests erupted all over Lebanon. People came out on the streets against the government's failure, and they all had one question: what was the real reason for this blast? According to reports, Hangar number 12 was being used to store dangerous chemicals such as oil cans, kerosene, and hydrochloric acid, and along with it, 15 tons of fireworks were placed in it. That is, such devastation that was just waiting to happen. Despite such flammable things, the wiring of the warehouse was very bad. There was no smoke alarm system or sprinkler system there. But this was not the only thing kept in Hangar number 12. Another dangerous chemical was also hidden here. A consignment of 2,750 tons of heavy ammonium nitrate, which had been stored there in plastic bags for the past 7 years without any proper safety. This chemical is often used as a fertilizer in agriculture or in the mining industry for explosives. This chemical has also been used in many terror attacks. The only question for the protesters was why so much ammonium nitrate was stored there, where thousands of people lived. And who is responsible for this devastation? It all started in 2013 when a Russian ship was going from Georgia to Mozambique. This merchant vessel named La Rosa had been in the sea for more than a month. And due to technical problems, it had to dock in Beirut. This ship had 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate, which had now docked at the Beirut port. But this ship never left Beirut again. The captain of the ship said that the owner of the ship was in need of money at that time, and he thought that some more cargo should be picked up and sent to Mozambique in Lebanon. But the cargo he booked from Lebanon increased the load a lot, and the ship's crew refused to take it. The ship's owner not only stopped the crew's salary, but also did not pay port charges. In Beirut, authorities kept the ship's crew locked in the same ship for the next 11 months because they did not have a visa to enter Lebanon. Finally, the crew was released in 2014, but the ship was seized due to unpaid dock fees and duties. The explosive cargo was confiscated by the authorities and transferred to Hangar number 12, where it remained until this horrific incident in 2020. During these 6 years, when this dangerous chemical was lying in Hangar number 12, the port authorities sent emails to government officials several times and gave warnings. But the government of Lebanon did not care. In the first email, in 2014, the former director of customs sent an urgent matter to the judge and carefully mentioned that it is very risky to keep this extremely dangerous chemical on the port. But he never got any answer. According to Al Jazeera's report, one of these emails demanded from the Marine Agency that the cargo be exported immediately because the climate conditions inside the hangar are not suitable for this chemical. In another letter, it was also suggested that the government sell this chemical to the Lebanese explosive company and get rid of it. The government was sent the last email in 2019, which warned about the dangers of this chemical. But the government ignored the warnings of the port authorities when the security risk increased due to the hole in the wall of Hangar number 12. It is believed that during the repairing of this hole, there was a fire here due to the sparks, which caused these explosions. Today, in 2025, this explosion will be 5 years old. But the real culprits, not only the punishment, but their trial, also did not go well. Due to political issues, the legal immunity of the ministers, and the conflicts in the judiciary, the investigation has been stopped again and again. When Judge Fadi Sawan charged the high-profile ministers, they were removed. Then Judge Tariq Batar resumed the case. Then groups like Hezbollah and Amal opposed him and filed a stay order in court. The investigation was completely stopped from 2022 to 2024. In January 2025, after becoming the Prime Minister of Nawaf Salam in the Israel-Hezbollah conflict, the case was reopened once again. In May 2025, it was reported that Judge Tariq Batar is going to issue his final ruling on 4 August 2025, which will be the 5th anniversary of this blast. Even after 4 years of this unbelievable incident of destruction, his marks are still remaining in Beirut. An 8-foot-long statue stands in place of the blast, which is made of broken glasses, twisted heads, and destroyed houses. This statue is in the form of a woman holding a sword, standing in memory of those 218 people who lost their lives that day. There is also a clock under the feet of this statue, on which it is still 6 o'clock and 8 minutes, and it has remained in the same condition since the blast. We hope you will like and share this video of the Zoomer. Thank you very much for your loving comments. See you in the next video.